Hello alchemists, this is Gordon again, and we are back to our no store playthrough. Let's see what we can tackle today, what we need to do. And I think the next thing was we were gonna work on Blast Potion, yeah, that's correct. Blast Potion, so we can go ahead and unlock next level. We have a lot of interesting things there, and that's actually when we can start buying World Tree Nurseries to get some world trees, but that's 50 gold, we're not quite there yet. So Blast Potions first, then we can take a look at Pocket Watch, because that's going to be our next contract and it's easier to do. Then Fertile Catalyst, which is also a really good contract, and Fertile Catalyst is a bit more difficult build because it already has a Vitality Catalyst, not as easy to make. Yeah, but Blast Potions will make things a bit easier because if we take a look, hit value is 28.8, way better than 3600 of Black Powder, and we're not even making Black Powder for our belt. And also as of Growth Potion has 7700 of nutrient value. Fertile Catalyst has 28.8, almost 4 times better. So the idea is we probably want to replace what we have right now with Blast Potion as for fuel, and probably Fertile Catalyst as for fertilizer. So not sure how easy or how difficult that's gonna be. Most likely this is not gonna be easy, this is gonna be easier, right? And when that's done, when we have our purchase contracts going for Pocket Watch and Fertile Catalyst, that's probably the time when we can start looking at making Venus, producing Venus, because that's gonna be awesome for Knowledge Altar. We can start getting some points because I do want to get some upgrades. I want to get it to at least level 4 in logistics and factory efficiency, at least to level 6 in alchemy, and I want to get a lot of levels in fertilizer tree and a lot of levels in fuel efficiency tree. Obviously when we start producing relics for the altar, I want to get this first, relic knowledge, so all the relics that we consume is gonna be consumed at better rate, with giving us bonus, more efficient, and later on we can start looking at purchase contract skill, but that's not as important as fertilizer, fuel, and this stuff right here. So yeah, that's what we're gonna look at. Let's jump in, let's start unlocking everything in a research tree, and let's see if we can come up or copy one of the old builds from other playthroughs for Blast Potions, and at least start cranking that up. Alright, so we finally put a build together. First of all, I had to add another coke powder here, because 2 was not quite enough and it started going less and less on a belt, so I had to add another one. That's fine. And as for the Blast Potions, we already started producing some. Oh, yeah, we're producing them. So for the Blast Potions, the biggest bottleneck that I see and what I have right now is Oblivion Essence, and not even for the reasons you might assume, not because of the hit value, which hit value is still a problem. It burns very fast using coke powder, not an issue. Issue is that we're not delivering this fast enough, because each stone is 600 copper, so pretty much I need 600 copper going there every roughly, I don't know, 2 seconds, right? And I'm not delivering that fast enough yet because the belt is slow and the amounts on a belt is not that much. So that's, yeah, it's a big bottleneck right now. So that's why I want to get those other contracts as soon as possible so I can throw more money on a belt and pretty much make those coin piles in bigger increments. I want to transfer it to silver already because we're at 50 copper, right? It's half a silver. Wait, it's not even half a silver. 50 copper is yeah, it's way less, because 1000 copper is 1 silver, right? I'm not confused. Am I confused? I don't think I am. Yeah, so 1000 silver is yeah, I'm sorry, 1000 copper is 1 silver, so 100 copper is not 1 silver, obviously. Yeah, so right now we're sending 50, and 50, it's yeah, it is very slow to go here, but then it gets consumed on the way, and not much gets here at this point, and then it still gets consumed faster than we can accumulate 600. Yeah, so that's that's the biggest bottleneck right now. On the other hand, we started producing black powder, and black powder build was it's really small. I like it, and it goes straight in there. Yeah, we are very good on black powder. We are good on brandy. Oblivion Essence is the only bottleneck, but again, it's slowly going up. We're gonna complete the quest, and let me check if we already gotten any of the. Nope, no, we don't have contracts yet, and I do want the contract. I need it. Oops. I do want to get that contract. I want to start producing yeah, pocket watch, because that's gonna be pretty it's not a difficult build, and it's gonna be a pretty substantial jump in amount of silver made, and then later on fertile catalyst also. But that's something I'm gonna work on. I'm gonna let some time pass by, so I can accumulate enough potions. And maybe at that time we're gonna get pocket watch pop up or fertile catalyst. Either one. Obviously watch is my preferred option. Actually, let's take a look. Did we get it now? And no, we did not. Well, that's lame. Yeah, let's wait and see what's gonna happen. Alright, in the meantime, while we were waiting for the potions, I started preparing for pocket watch build. So this is going to be our steel gear production. We need 15, so 3 of those, 15 a minute. 45 glass, just 3 of the glass kilns, because they do 15 a minute. And we're going to need to come up with 15 copper bearings. That I think we're just going to probably smelt coins, because if this build produces enough pocket watch, it's supposed to produce enough money to self-sustain, and but with a surplus. So I'm probably going to be just smelting copper coins into copper ingots and making copper bearings out of that. But yeah, we have not gotten that contract yet. In the meantime, yeah, okay, go ahead. Let's turn that in, because we got it. We got it faster than I expected. Wow. And look at that, 6 gold. Wow, beautiful. World Tree leaves, World Tree seed, and gentian seed. That's beautiful, but unfortunately right now it's going to consume so much fertilizer, and our levels are not there. But we're level 8, and we have 2 points. Okay, awesome. Panacea potion. That's going to be our next big thing, and yeah, as soon as we get it, look at that heat value, look at that nutrient value. That's going to be our bread and butter. We're going to try to do the same thing I did before and produce it and use it both as fertilizer and as fuel. But that's later on. And yeah, hopefully we'll get there. But for now, let's keep building and let's keep waiting for Pocket Watch contract to show up so we can go ahead and do it and start getting some money going on. And finally, after selling nearly 5,000 gloom spores, we get in this contract. Right, so we can go ahead and yeah, turn it in if we have enough. And in the meantime, we can take a look at the setup right here. We have 4 kilns, even though we need 3. Yeah, just for symmetry purposes. It's not going to consume more than what it needs, and it's not going to produce more than what we need. So that's totally fine. Then we have 3 setups for steel gears production. Yep. And we see that copper bearings are flying in as well from over here. That's the corner where I had my, not the black powder, but coke powder build. So I don't have it anymore because I'm pretty much using blast potions right now on a belt. Entire belt is full with blast potions. So yeah, there was a free space, empty space. So I just put kiln here, smelting coins, and 34 coins a second. In the time that it takes. Actually, it takes 8 seconds. Wow. Alright, so it's delivering enough coins to smelt bars and make them into the copper bearings. And we're producing the pocket watch. Well, we have exactly 20. Wow, look at that. Alright, let's go turn it in. We're gonna get the contract. And boom. There we go. 26 silver. Not bad at all. So let's take a look at it. Do I have... Yeah, no, I don't have sigil. Let's go get sigil. So we can take a look at the contract and see how much it's going to be paying us. All right. And 26 silver, and we only need 960 a day. Well, up to 960 a day. And we're producing 7.5 a minute. Yeah. Okay. Do I want to put it? Where do I want to put it? Let me figure it out. But we are ready. We are ready to crank it up and start making money off of the pocket watch. Give me a second. Let me put this somewhere, and we'll get back into it. Alright, the day is almost over. So let's sum it up. Let's see full days of work, and let's talk about nuances. Alright. That's nice. So, again, earnings versus expenses. That's not bad. Not bad at all. So, if we take a look at Gloom Spores, I had to disassemble one branch. So only half of the build is working. Right, so we're producing only half as much a day. About 300 versus 600 or 650 a day. Why I had to do that? Because with our current production of Growth Potion, it was quite not enough to support 2 branches. It started running out. Even if I completely disassembled the bandages build, then I took a look at ratios and I took a look at numbers. So chamomile needs 720 nutrient per nursery, right? Compared to 24 for flax or 36 for sage, right? So combined, all the flax, because we have 8 nurseries of flax and 2 nurseries of sage. Let's see, so 8 times 24 is 192 plus 36 times 2. We're talking about 264 nutrient value opposed to 720 nutrient value. So disassembling one branch, half of the build, right, and enabling and this full build, this build is consuming still about 3 times or around 3 times less nutrient value than half of this build. So disassembling half makes all the sense. Now if we look at math, if we do the math, what is the silver per nutrient consumed, right? So if we're using 264 nutrient and we're making 12 silver, so more or less the ratio is 1 to 22 opposed to 1 to 80 in this build, right? So it makes more sense to have this one running and have half of this one disassembled, simply because we're not going to be running out of growth potion and be running short on growth potions. And this one is filling out because it was half of it was empty. So now it's at least starting to fill out with this disassembled. Now another question, why would I just not stamp more of the builds that consume less, right? Or something like that. Or why would I even bother doing a pocket watch build if, for example, pocket watches sell for 26 and that's stack of 20. I think it's stack of 20. So yeah, it is stack of 20. So if we do the math, one sells for a little bit more than 1 silver. And to be exact, we're talking about 1.3 silver per 1 watch sold. If we look here, we need 1 copper ingot, which makes 2 copper bearings to make pocket watch. And 1 copper ingot costs 400 copper coins. So we're making 1300 copper coins. We're spending 400 for bearings alone. And now, besides that, we also have coal ore, we have iron ore, we have stone, and all that's being used to produce pocket watch. How does it balance out? Does it make more money than it consumes? Possibly. It's somewhere there. I was not going to do all the math and calculate every single input, but I hope that it does make a bit more than what it consumes. Here's a kicker. And here's the answer to the question: why not just to stamp a bunch of cheap builds instead of doing expensive builds like this? Because that's done with thinking of future. Because the contracts are limited. You can do only 1600 spores a day. You can only do 800 bandages a day, and so on. So later in the game, the only way to make money if you maxed out on outputs is to diversify outputs, meaning that you have to have every single build of every single contract to have them produce the maximum amount. And when you do, what's your only other option? Well, the only other option would be improve the negotiation skill, where you can improve the contract bonus amount. So that would be it. That's why later in the game it's not going to be helpful stamping more of cheap builds and not utilizing every other single build available, because at some point the cost is going to be, or the income is going to drastically overshadow the costs, and we're still going to be fine, right? So that's what I'm thinking. That's why I'm thinking that even this build that seemingly is very expensive, it's still fine, because on the surface it looks like we're packed with money. We're still making money, and the daily report said that we did make about twice more than what we're spending. So I'm okay with that. It's fine. And let's look at what we want to work on going further down. And I'm thinking that probably we want to look at Fertile Catalyst, because we can use Fertile Catalyst on a belt instead of not a Blast Potion, instead of Growth Potion. Ideally, I would love to use Panacea Potion, but we're not there because we need to get the World Tree Nursery. That's 50 gold. I only have 6 gold to my name right now. And yeah, you also need bunch of nutrients to grow that tree as well. So I think it's very not wise to skip Fertile Catalyst. We need to get it, and I'm thinking we're gonna use it on a belt. That way, it's gonna enable us to easier use Lavender, because we're gonna need Lavender. It's gonna make it easier for us to use Gentian as well, because we're gonna need it as well. And then, when we are more comfortable with the amount of fertilizer we're producing, and with the amount of fertilizer that we're using, and when we start producing Venus, which actually will help us a lot with upgrade points, yeah, we're gonna need to take care of this branch as well. Yeah, that's gonna help us a lot, because we're gonna improve fertilizer efficiency as well, and it's just gonna snowball from there. So let's jump right in, and let's see what we can build. I think we hit a bit of an obstacle on a path. The build is up. It's here. So, and it's yeah, it's a Gentian build. And that's the problem, because Gentian consumes so much nutrient. It's crazy. We were producing some, but at this point and at this stage of the game, it cannot even self-sustain, because even the nutrient value from Fertile Catalyst is barely enough from what it produces, because it's 11.2 out of 1, and there's 2 of them, so roughly 22.4, not even 22.5. Yeah, not enough to sustain 1 and 2 of Gentian nurseries. I'm not even talking about everything else above here, because this one consumes second most, third most, and that one consumes almost nothing. So yeah, so I decided that it's probably time to shift focus and face the obvious, what I needed to work on a long time ago, and it's getting some upgrade points. So what I'm thinking we probably want to do is start working on Venus, because it requires 15 of each potion and a little bit of sulfuric acid. And looking at all this, potions are not that difficult to produce, especially just 15 is one assembler in this case of healing potion, right? One blender of vitality potion, whatever. So they're produced at 15 per. Actually, I don't remember if vitality potion had different rates out of from other potions, but I'll have to take a look. But yeah, I think that's what we want to do. Start making these throw it into the altar, get some points, and probably want to improve production. Yeah, with improving production, production speed goes up, but also hit consumption speed goes up. But we're already using blast potions on the belt, so that should be fine. That improves it a lot. So yeah, we want to take care of these. Obviously this branch right here. Later on we're gonna throw some into monies, and very importantly fertilizer and pretty much everything. It seems like I want to work on everything, and we just need more points. More points would help a lot. Will solve this issue that I'm facing right now, where it's not enough value out of these fertilizers, because I want it to work. I want it to self-sustain. But yeah, that's what we're looking at right now. But other than that, we turned in blast potions. We are ready to go into the next level. Well, ready. We can. We're not ready. Yeah. Because the things that we're going to be working with are quite expensive and quite intense as far as production values. And also very pricey, right? This one tree needs 50 gold. I mean, this one world tree needs 50 gold. We're not even there yet. We need to generate some money. We need to accumulate that. And together with that, yeah, as I said, points, because we're not going to be able to sustain much here without being up higher. And in normal playthrough, I would already have a bunch of points behind my belt, but here I was just rushing into things, skipping certain things, and at some point, it's time to pay for it. But we're going to work in Venus, and we'll see how that helps us. Also, since it's getting a bit crowded in this area, we probably want to go ahead and unlock another plot so we can work there and use that entire area for Venus. And we're going to leave this one be. We're probably going to clean it up later. When we unlock better fertilizer, we're going to remove those, because we're probably not going to need growth potions anymore at that point, and we can put something else there. We can actually use this entire area just to use it for the contracts, and just put everything that has to do with contracts and remove everything else that doesn't need to be here. But yeah, let's go get that another plot, which modestly priced at 6,000, and boom, there we go. I'm not sure if this is gonna be enough space. It should be. I think it should be enough space to produce Venus. At least one Venus, yeah, for sure. Not 4. But 1 should be fine. All right, let me work on it. Let me see where we're at. Well, it seems like this build's normalized, and now we have full belts of growth potion, even though I have both of the gloom spores activated. So yeah, turns out it just needed a bit more time, and everything started working. Yeah, it found a way around it. So nice, we have full belt of growth potion here. Now this side is where we're building our first relic in this playthrough. I kind of more or less put things together. So we have our transformation potion here. It's all prepared. We're gonna be making it out of copper ingot, plank, and stone. That's gonna be our gloom spore. We're just smelting coins. We have our vitality potion here. That's pretty standard build. Then we have 2 of the growth potions, which I just put on the belt. I'm probably just gonna manually feed this, at least for the time being, just to get a couple of relics, and then I'll put another build. But that's that for now. And the blast potion, pretty much the same build that's over there. I just stamped it here. Same exact black powder build. Nothing new here. Yep. And this little thing, 1, 2 nurseries, that's our healing potion. So I'm just gonna connect everything to fly in here. And ooh, yeah, this thing is also came out rather cool. So sulfuric acid. Yep. And I used the same recipes that I used for sulfur, which I'm using to produce some of the gloom spores before. So yeah, chamomile powder, and black powder, and we're making black powder out of same chamomile and powder, and coal. And it has two salts above it, so flax fiber, flax, and chamomile. 2 of them making salt. We're making salt brine and sending it all inside. So, yep, that's that. Just 2 nurseries behind it. Really tiny build. Not bad for not having any upgrades in the upgrade tree. Yep, or almost nothing. It's not fully upgraded how I had in my previous playthrough. So yeah, not a bad build. So yeah, just gonna hook everything up, connect it, feed some of those, and I'm thinking I'm gonna collect probably... I'll try to collect as many as I can, probably like chest full or half a chest, whatever. Then I'll probably just go ahead and reset points, throw everything in Relic Knowledge, redeem all the relics, and quickly throw all the points back. That way I can maximize my Relic Knowledge profit and not break any builds, not break any existing builds. So yeah, and then I just let this keep producing, so we can get some more Venus and keep getting points passively. But yeah, that's the plan for now. Let me connect everything, and we'll hopefully get back when we have some points to spare. Yeah, I was wild for saying that I'm gonna wait for a chest full of relics. Yeah, it takes forever. But there we go, we got our first one, and we're gonna go and redeem it right away. Awesome. And get a bunch of points, because Venus gives a lot of experience, plus with whatever bonuses we can get here, it's probably just gonna pile up a bunch of levels right away, and we're gonna be able to just throw them back again, and it's gonna be fine. Alright, give me a minute, let me get that going, and I'll see you in a second. Alright, we're back. I think it's been like 5 or 6 relics already, and yeah, so we got all these points invested. I got 12 levels out of Relic Knowledge. I put a bunch of points into Fertilizer. We're level 6 in Fertilizer, level 5 in Alchemy, and level 4 in Factory Efficiency and Logistics Efficiency. I might want to put more points in Fuel as well, because I see that it started burning faster. But yeah, and ideally I would want to also add some points into Negotiation Skill, because that's going to give us more money out of our purchase contract. But this already makes a huge impact, big difference. So if we take a look, so this belt is rather full, and I also cranked up Fertile Catalyst, and it self-sustains, it self-supports, so all the inputs are full, and it produces enough to self-support. And I only keep it on a small loop. It goes in here, feeds into itself, goes out, and it pretty much loops around. It only goes into this build, it does not go anywhere else. So as we see, it's already backed out. That means it can self-sustain, and it also can start sustaining something else like belt or purchase contract, right? And I'm making sure that the actual growth potions, they don't go on this section of the belt, and they're just being separated and thrown over it to go further down on that side of the belt. So we can also go take a look if we got a purchase contract. I think we did receive it. Yeah, there we go. So we can finally start looking into selling Fertile Catalyst. But what I'm thinking, that now, since we already can self-sustain, maybe it's time to put a couple more builds here instead of growth potions, and have one build to do the purchase contract, and let's say 2 more builds to just sustain the belts around. I don't know. I'll see if it's feasible. I'll see if we can do it, and we'll get back to it later. I ended up not doing it, and I just hooked up this build to the sales contract, to dispatch portal, and it goes through the priority splitter. It goes on its to feed itself, and all the excess goes into the purchase contract. So we already sold 7 packs worth of it, because it's the stack of 20, and each goes at 60 silver, so we're gonna have good payout at the end of the day, and day is almost over. Yeah, I am not sure if I want to put these builds here now, or should I wait for Panacea Potion. But we definitely see that we need to do something with fuel, because it started burning way faster. So maybe we want to put these points into fuel efficiency. And we're about to get another point too, because we're getting more relics. but the relic knowledge slowed down, and it already requires 1600 for next level. With 1591, there was one entire relic didn't get me any levels at all, because one does, I guess, little less than 1200 right now. And if we look at it, okay, let's see how they ended here. There we go. Now we're talking. So we're close to a little less than double. Yeah, we're a little less than doubling our money without any points or any upgrades into the without any upgrades into the negotiation skill. Anyways, let's take a look at this. Yeah, we are making 1122 experience here. So yeah, it's less than 1200. We're already requiring 1658 per level. Next level is going to be even more. So yeah, it's going to be harder and harder to get levels. Now we need 2 relics to even get to the next level. And further down, we're going to need more and more. So at some point, we're going to need to produce the next ones. And next ones in line would be Mercury. Oops. It'd be Mercury. Oh yeah, we don't have it unlocked. What am I looking at? Yeah, right there. Yep, Mercury and Luna later on. But Mercury would help a lot because it already jumps from 500 to 5900 XP, and double that, so almost 6000. So add another 6000 to that. Mercury is going to be a big jump in experience accumulation. So yeah, I need to look at my belts now. I need to look at all the production and how we're doing, and I'm gonna see if we are ready to go into the level 8 and start maybe messing with World Tree Nurseries or not. Yeah, I'll look through it right now and I'll see what we're gonna do next. Yeah, and another thing I wanted to mention while we're waiting for this relic is I was looking at my upgrades and I was looking what to upgrade next, where to put my points, so I can either improve my fertilizer efficiency or I can improve factory efficiency. And I was thinking, I was doing some numbers, I was crunching numbers. So we can improve factory efficiency by another 25% or fertilizer efficiency by another 10%. And let's just look at example. So we are producing 200% of fertile catalyst right now, which is 15, and 15 is 200% of 7.5. So if we add another 25%, it's gonna be the 16,875. That's what my calculator says. So just extra 1.875 per minute, right? Or if we add another 10% to a fertilizer, we're gonna jump from a nutrient value of 38,400 to 40,800. So, and that's a difference of 2,400. So how does that affect, how does that work? What does it do for us, right? If we think about 10% into fertilizer efficiency, that's 2,400 per, and we're making 15 of them. So 2,400 times 15 is 36,000, meaning we're going to be producing, at least in fertile catalyst, we're going to produce another 36,000 of nutrient value per minute. But what if we increase factory efficiency by 25%? That means we're going to be producing 1.875 of extra fertile catalyst per minute, and 1.875 times existing 38,400 is 72,000. So you might argue that it is then better to increase factory efficiency by another 25%, because we're getting literally double the amount of nutrient value per, right? Because this is 10%, this is 25%, and we're literally 72,000 is double of 36,000. But then this is just 1 point, right? And if we want to increase this, we need to also increase this together. We need to increase belt throughput. Then we also want to increase alchemy skill because we want to keep the same ratios of brine production. Then we also need to increase fuel efficiency because we also want to make sure we're not going to run out of fuel. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 points to get double the results. So getting 36,000 out of here is twice more efficient than getting 72,000 out of 1, 2, 3, 4 points. And it is inevitable that I will need to improve this because improving factory efficiency not only gonna produce more of fertile catalysts, but also it's gonna produce more of everything that we're selling, right? We're gonna be producing more gloom spores, more bandages, more of everything in general. So yeah, it is very important to do so as well. But if we're only talking about fertile catalyst, I'm sorry, about fertilizer values, about nutrient values, then right now it is more beneficial to just put this 1 point into fertilizer efficiency than put any points here. So let's just do that. So let's sum it up what we are looking at, where we're at right now. So we are producing 4 contracts right now. We have our bandages, we have gloom spores, we have pocket watch right here, and we're selling some of the fertile catalyst as well. So 4 contracts are taken care of. We also are making the relic and getting some upgrades put in. That's also good. We obviously need more, but that's on the way. We are slowly preparing to transition into level 8. We're not quite there yet. We're looking to get World Tree Nursery so we can slowly grow the tree, accumulate some leaves, because if we want to build a panacea build, we want to have everything prepared, so we just put it all together, crank it up, try to balance it, and try to have it start working right away, because then we can use those potions. Okay, as far as earnings, we're making good money right now. What's going on with his spendings? I don't know what happened there, but that's quite crazy. Oh yeah, that's because I enabled 2 builds of the blast potions. All right, that makes sense. One of them is gonna turn off as soon as the belt is full, so that's gonna go down. But profits will stay up, so that's good. That's good. Yeah, so we're gonna be jumping into level 8, but for that we need to buy this, and it costs 50 gold, and we only have we have 2 gold right now. But we're slowly accumulating money. We're making about twice more than what we're spending. If we're not gonna look at that expenses for the last day, because it's unusual. Typically we just make double. There's nothing here. There's a little bit here, that's just 18 silver. There's a good stash right there of 540, so that's 5 gold. And there's some accumulated on this side as well. Not much, well actually nothing. How about that? So, yeah, but slowly but surely, if we are making about 5 gold a day, it's gonna take about 10 days, and I don't know, I'll try to fish out a contract. Maybe there's gonna be something here, a random quest. It's not bad. We can definitely do that. But I'm looking for the one with relic. That's gonna give me like 10 gold per or something like that. That's very doable. So either that way, by fishing out the contract, or by simply saving up and collecting money, because we're making about 1,000 silver. We're spending about half of that, so we can be saving about 5 gold a day, and we'll see how that's gonna happen. But as soon as we get that, we can start prepping for next level, and we got another point we can spend on something. But that being said, Gordon's out.